Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kurojiri, your resident tinker and Medarot, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Now, I do want to prelude this episode and apologize ahead of time that I'm not using the VTuber model again this week. Just had some minor complications trying to get VTube Studio to behave with me today, so I'm using the PNG today, folks. But that's certainly not going to stop my weekly deliverance of the meta news here on the MNN. But with that being said, as far as what we can expect this week, it's going to be a relatively quiet week as far as what to expect with events and new bots and anything else that's incoming. It's still going to be very exciting all the same, and the new model of Wave 3 of the Full Metal Panic collaboration is definitely bringing a lot of brand new stuff to the table. But the week itself is going to be fairly quiet, like I said, and kind of make it a little easier to properly digest everything that's being implemented and introduced over the course of this next week. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced for this week, starting with the gacha banners that'll be joining the line this week and who to expect incoming. Now, for that first week, for this next week that we have coming in, we only see one brand new model that's being introduced in Wave 3, and that is FMP05 Mofta-Kun, with a nearly entirely new kit of shoot heater, glitch rifle, glitch Vulcan, biped legs, and the leg ability of mascot. Now, like it says here, a lot of brand new skills are being introduced with Mofta-Kun alone, but they're honestly quite nasty once the explanation is fully out there. To explain briefly, shoot heater is basically shoot boost and heater, so kind of in the same vein as you'd expect, say, guard heater or mobile cooler, kind of along those lines essentially. So a really nice move that gives a shooting damage boost and a heating boost on top of that to make it just a little easier to outrun a lot of enemies to the forward line. Glitch Rifle and Glitch Vulcan, though, are brand new skills being introduced, but have a very unique modifier and property to them. And it's the fact that both of them can inflict 2 random ailments at once based on one single attack. And at the same time, it also supports the entire library of negative ailments across the board between both of these 2 attacks. Tornado, Freeze, Melt, Wave, Defense Seal, Bug, Replay. Lots and lots and lots of negative ailments, and because it stacks 2 at a time, this can make it extremely easy for someone with, say, minus chain or something of the like to really benefit from making good use of what Mofta-Kun brings to the table. And the biped legs with mascot are only just kind of tie in the theme of the character that's being based off in particular. So very powerful kit that Mofta-Kun is bringing to the table, and I wouldn't be shocked if we'd be seeing more and more pieces of him over the next weeks once the competitive meta does officially work in. For the fierce battles we have this week, it's going to be just a little bit lower key though, with a very heavy emphasis on interruption type of attacks. This week we see a boosted raids alongside Mofta-Kun for other mascot types of varying degrees, such as TJN01 Gal Gal Marmo, with Bug, Destroy, Mega Gatling, Float Legs, and Spearhead. And we also have FDL0 Cradle from Medarot Navi, with Confusion, Double Provoke, Sea Legs, and Elusive. Now, ultimately, I really don't have a lot to say about these 2 models in particular, because by themselves, they're kind of there, not really anything that you'd be using anything actively for. Minus, say, Cradle's Sea Legs with Elusive, since Sea Legs usually have a very high base evade, so they can put the Elusive leg ability to very good use. But it is still worth noting that there are a handful of very solid skills between the 2 of these, and of course with Mofta-Kun as well. So it is still worth going after at least 1 or 2 of these while you're at it, and even if you don't snag Mofta-Kun, you still have a shot at either one of these 2, which will still make it worthwhile in the long run, because interruption base is something that's really good to have lots and lots of parts for that you can basically slot in just about anywhere, just for the sake of coverage more than anything that you'd use in, say, competitive meta or anything similar. For the fierce battles we have this week, it's going to be a very wide variety of skills this week additionally as well. Starting us off on this top row, we're starting off with GBB01 Slap Beat with Shoot Boost, Beam, Thundershot, Flight Legs, and Radiator. SGT0 Sagittarius with Suction, Defense Seal, Evade Seal, Flight Legs, and Hidden, and KIN0 Kintaro with Press, Double Hammer, Biped Legs, and Endurance. On the bottom row, we have TND0 Tank Dunk with Napalm, Missile, Gatling, Tank Legs, and Bullet Rain. APL-01 Top Gunner with Radar Sight, Double Missile, Flight Legs, and Aim. And MDZ-0 Meduzard with Freeze, Sword, Counterguard, Multi-Legs, and P-Loader. So, honestly, it's kind of hard to pick an MVP of the week out of the batch here, because all 6 of the models feature at least one part that could be used extremely easy just about anywhere. Slap Beat for Thunder Shot and Shoot Boost for your female teams in particular. Sagittarius mostly for defense and evade seal if you choose to make use of them. Kintaro mostly for your AoE type of attacks, and especially thanks to Silent Leader with the hammer skills. Tank Dunk for tank legs and bullet rain is really nice too for your dedicated shoot nukers. Top Gunner for radar sight as well for your passive support for any female teams. But Meduzard ultimately has to take the MVP of the week in my opinion, primarily because it has 2 fairly solid skills that you can use almost readily right from start. And Counter Guard is pretty nice to have in the case that you're fighting against anyone using melee attacks. So ultimately, I do have to give MVP of the week to her with a very close second to Tank Dunk in particular. But ultimately, it's still worth farming all 6 of these just for the sake of having them on hand more than anything else to mention. As far as events are concerned this week, it's going to be fairly quiet as well as events are cycling through this through the Wave 3 of the collaboration. This week, we have the opportunity to earn the Mouse Medal, which is a Power Nature Medal with a Mastery in Shooting, Support, and Healing, and leg masteries in Biped, Wield, and Sea. We can also earn an additional profile banner featuring characters from the Full Metal Panic series, and 2 more waves of gacha tickets with event missions going live that we can farm for extra ruby shards and gacha tickets on top of that. The event for this week will be Boss Fight featuring the 9v9 Boss Battle Marathon. So your sets will be encouraged across the board as you're putting your teams together. And as a fair warning and a heads up, the 9v9 is pretty expensive as far as bonuses are concerned and who's offering them and just what kind of survival extension that it is. But as a friendly reminder, the bonuses also stack across all 9 slots. So that means you can really maximize those bonuses and almost immediately trivialize farming the boss battles very, very easily within 1 or 2 days just because of how that behaves. So best of luck to that. If you'd like to see the bots that give you the best bonuses into that going forward into the week, definitely consult the previous slides as well for who to look at with the boosted rates, the main banners, and of course the fierce battles. But of course it is also worth mentioning that the other previous collab models as well, Kaname Angel, Urza Falk, and the original 3 still will feature bonuses as well to kind of make things a little easier as far as farming is concerned. And we also have a round 2 of the collab Super Invasions going live this week as well. No real telling what the rules are going to be on this, but I do suspect that it will be simply an overclocked enemy, so going with your best teams, in and out, 10 minutes tops, and you have yourself 10 free rubies and another profile plate that you can use to commemorate the collaboration as a whole. Everything around the collaboration, as a friendly reminder, will be sticking around until the end of June into the first week of July. So there is still at least 3 weeks to go before all of this disappears. If you're still kind of holding out to see what the last model of the collab will feature and which ones that you really want to push for. As far as Meta Survivor is concerned, it's going to be equally just as quiet of a week as well, with the Belzelga and the Barrage Fire event Phase 2 just officially commencing. All rewards will be reset and refreshed as far as the event menu is concerned, so everything is basically on a cooldown for today as the event will start back in tomorrow. So if you had a chance to collect Barrage Fire or Belzelga, great. If not, there's still plenty of chances for some nice rewards to keep it going for a very nice casual game. For something that you really don't have to spend a lot of time working on. Now, for the community, though, as we step away from game-related stuff, we are always looking for translators to assist us with any current projects or endeavors, obviously. Currently, with the Medarot 4 Game Boy Color translation project, we'd also love some help with any of the Reloaded or any of the manga projects in general. I did mention last week as well, with the really big surprise boon of one of our members in our Discord, having successfully ordered, collected, and scanned the entirety of the Medarot Navi manga. So I would love to try to get some translators on the team, try to help work toward that, so we could learn the full story of Medarot Navi from the manga's point. Alternatively, if you are knowledgeable in coding, cleaning Japanese, and have some time in your hands, or if you know somebody that might be, we would absolutely love the help or spreading the word on our behalf. So feel free to join our Discord, ask around, or even ask me as well. We can get you in touch with the right people to fill you in and get you started on what still needs finished. Now, furthermore, with more news from Rising Beetle, as another reminder, is the Ori Meta contest that is still ongoing in the Rising Beetle Discord server. We are now officially 2 weeks out until the very last day and deadline of the contest, where I will then take all the submissions and deliberate which ones which ones are declared as the winners for the contest. Contest period, as you see here, is 5/6 to 7/1, so just a couple weeks left, like I said, with a theme of steampunk. So just to celebrate my 4-year anniversary through the month of June, that's the theme that was selected to go for this particular contest. And the top prize, or prizes, based on how many entries we receive, will receive personalized concept art from yours truly, and I will even stream myself drawing it as well. So I'm very excited to see what you guys come up with in these final 2 weeks of lab. Really looking forward to seeing you guys knock my socks off with that. So join our Discord for all the rules and the submission requirements as well for all that if you have any questions and would like to officially put in your entry for the contest as well. Now, something else to mention, keeping up to date with my current streams and my current ongoing progress with that, I've had a number of streams over this last week. I had my collaborative Ori Meta streams with Mint and Escardis, over this last week. The one with Escardis was last night when we created that fairy tale type, which was very creative. I had a lot of fun putting him together, and had a lot of fun having Escardis on the stream as well. I do have one more Ori Meta stream that is incoming currently through the month of June, and that is with my stream with Ruben. Well, I will be having him as a guest on my channel as we do the same thing of creating a brand new, never-before-seen Ori Meta from the ground up, based on results that he brings from my random Medarot kit generator. So I am very excited for that. You can join us on June 25th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So just a little earlier than my usual stream time, but you gotta love time zones for that respect. So I'm very excited for that and looking forward to having Ruben on the show with me once again as we kind of put our brains together and figure out how to create a very unique and creative design never before seen by the time that the stream ends. On the topic of art, as I do get ready to wrap us up here, as a friendly reminder, I'm always open for commission as well. So if you are looking for a live 2D model ready to rig, emotes, PNGs for reactive PNGs, pretty much like what I'm using here, 3D models or standard art or anything else, I'm more than happy to communicate and work with you on that. More than happy to coordinate. I will do just about anything as you see here. Of course, will not be any kind of NSFW or core, but you can contact me on Twitter, Blue Sky, or Discord, whichever is your particular poison of choice, and we can most certainly try to coordinate and make something happen. But with that being said, that does basically cover everything for this week's episode. So, like I said, relatively light on content as far as the collaboration is concerned, and I kind of appreciate that, honestly, because it gives the community a chance to kind of absorb all the new stuff that's incoming, kind of tackle it at their own pace, especially given that the event is going over the course of the entire month, so there really isn't as much of a rush right now to kind of get it all done ahead of time and just kind of blaze through. But if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page and the Metabots Forever community that is currently over 47,000 members at last count. So it's been absolutely growing by the day and continuing to grow, and I'm so happy for that. You can join us on Facebook at either of those places. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes any new links to merchandise, fan art, contests, weekly episodes, or anything else of the like. That is the first place you will see the news before it goes anywhere else. And like I said, you can follow me on Twitter, Blue Sky, or Discord at Isagami-Kura. So if you'd like to reach out to me, coordinate with me for a commission, or even collaborate with me, which is having you here as a guest host here on the MNN, or me stopping in on your channel, I would absolutely love to try to coordinate something with you. So definitely feel free to reach out to me in that respect. Lastly, do give Penguin Kotak a follow as well for his part in the Orimeta stream collab that I had last night with him. It was an absolute treat to have him on the show with me as we created a unique design, and like I said last night as well, does a lot of fantastic art on its own, Medarot or otherwise, so definitely worth a follow in that respect. Also, give Sadant Voiro a follow as well, who does a lot of Medarot stuff on their channel as well, much like I do. But they go a little more in-depth with gameplays and game samples and demo reels of all different bots and different gameplays from all the older games. So if you want to stay in touch with all the native Japanese stuff, he's definitely someone that you want to follow as well. But with all that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping in, just as you always do. And until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.